Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Fast Action Racing by Downey Games. Don't see any videos online on this. Doesn't mean I'm not going to be right. Just kind of give people an idea of how to play it or what the game's about. I think it's a pretty fast and exciting race game. I usually do more detailed games, and I'm not much into fast things. But this one here actually has a decent amount of suspense to it, so I decided to break this out after watching ID Jester play his red, white, and blue because this has not similar, but it does kind of hit the bases and abstract a lot of things, and it reminded me a lot of it. And I don't play it because the it's hard to manipulate the cards and stuff around, and I just was like I don't know, I keep coming up with excuses not to put it on. So I said, you know what, let's put it on VASSAL. So that's what I did. And right now we're using the short track legends season as I put the rest of the drivers and everything into various league files. So all these drivers are going to come in here. You see up here, I have little drivers showing up. That's so I can easily see where these guys are sitting on the map without having to move the counters around. Little bells and whistles that I added in there. I'm going to move all them down there. I also know we are in. This is the second time I played this race because I screwed the pooch on putting the race winners and stuff together. Indianapolis Raceway Park. So I'm going to go up here to my tracks and I'm going to grab out the Indianapolis Raceway Park and send that to my active track. And I think then that I am ready to actually start setting these guys up. Um, so we start setting them with 36 of them. It's pretty much cut and dried. You just come up here and start putting them out from 1 to 16. Oh boy. Yeah, I get brain dead sometimes. You all know that. You watch enough of my channel, you get what you pay for here. I do like to expose people to different games just so you can see how they play. Of course, then you put up with my long 200 and some video replays of like combat and stuff games I'm just absolutely addicted to. I just like recording. I like the interaction I get with you guys, and that's why I do it. You're going to learn some things wrong on my channel, I'm sure of it, but at least you have an idea what the games are about. And this one, I don't. Peter Miller's the only one I see has a video up on it, and I think it just needs a little more exposure because it is a nice, quick racing game that's pretty realistic. It does have its flaws in it. The rules are not the most clear, especially when it comes to the end, which is how I screw things up. But all in all, once you get the hang of it, it's a pretty, and they do include every driver. So really, it does. It's great for doing replays because NASCAR replays and stuff can last you a while. Anyway, fast action read score sheet. We are in Indianapolis Raceway Park. This VASSAL module will not be available, by the way. I do have to disclaim that. I made this for myself so I can play it. I cannot give it away because it would be like giving the game away. So I can't do that, so I apologize for that if I kind of give you guys green fever or something like that. Um, it is cool, um, and I wish there's a way that we could do it because it really came out nice, and I'm quite hyped about it. Um, but anyway, if you look here, um, go ahead and zoom in a little bit. Plus, the artwork's pretty cool. You see this? It shows up now as 45. He's on grid 45. If I were to move him up here into my extras, he would be E4. Just kind of makes it easier for me to see them as I go through the game. um, All right, you know what? I don't know. Let me pause this real quick. I just all of a sudden I saw lead lap here, and I don't remember running into that before. I want to make sure I have everything squared away. I'll be right back. Okay, once again, I went way off on a tangent. Okay, that rating only comes into effect on ties for laps led. So I think I am basically ready to go. Here's my score sheet. I have an Excel sheet that I use for my rankings. Let's get that out now because we're going to need that. Get rid of the numbers, and this is all because I just played a race and I completely blew the end. Delete that. I'm going to make this a little more automatic and kind of protect cells or highlight cells or something that won't allow that to be adjusted. This is done. This is done, and that can stay. Okay. All right. So we're ready to go. Basically, first off, we got the pole. We're going to check for the pole. We're going to roll the 2D, and then we're going to look at the pole rates right here. Whatever driver has that number in his pole rating is the pole driver for this race. 41. Actually, belay that. We want the red and white dice. 45. So I'm going to go through and check right here on every card till I find 45 in the range. 46. I always feel like I should hurry because I don't like wasting people's time. 45. I guess if I was wasting your time, you probably wouldn't be watching this. 45 right here. So Richie Evans is going to be my pole driver. All right, first challenge then is going to be against Richie Evans, and Richie Evans is a 9. It's going to go up to a 10 for the first challenge. Pole leader always gets a +1 for the first challenge. And coming out of the gates, first challenge is going to be done by 46. 46 is Mark Martin. All right, Mark Martin is going to challenge. He is an 8. Richie Evans is a 9-10, so that's going to be a -2. We come over here and we look at the target for a -2. That's going to be a 9 to 12 right there. And we roll a 6. So that's going to be a failed challenge. And Richie Evans is going to be my first. Control C. I'm going to use that several times here. My first race leader. And we put a 1 on him based on this number right here. Now we're going to go into the mechanical phase, and I want to have my rules close by because I like to ensure that I'm giving you guys the best scoop possible. All right, roll the red and white dice to select the driver and the 4 adjacent drivers, and we're going to be checking the red ratings on these. This is just checking to see how many people have decent engines as they go through. So 22, I'm going to go down here and find 22, and again, I'm going to be looking at this number right there that I have showing the spaces. You see that's 22 underneath. So that's gonna be Donnie Schatz. Boy, I'm a mess already. Donnie Schatz. And the four drivers around here, we start up here with Sammy Swindell. Swindwell, maybe. He got sausage fingers. Um, Tom Pistone. And then we go to Mike Eddy. And last but not least is Venturini, Bill Venturini. Venturini. How about Venturini? There we go. All right, Donnie Schatz, and we'll be looking just rolling straight up against their ratings. Donnie Schatz is a 7. Die roll is a 6. Passes. Nothing bad happens to him. We go to Sammy Swindell, who is an 8. Oh, you know what? Mechanical. I got to go look over here because this increases or decreases their ratings. +1. Actually, I want to make him an 8. And he passes. Swindell, +1. It makes it harder for them to have a problem. This racetrack was very forgiving. Sammy Swindell is an 8, goes up to a 9. We roll a 12. Oh, yeah, baby. We have a failure. Um, it's higher than the driver's mechanical rail. He is affected by a major problem and is forced to retire from the race. We have our first retiree. That's Sammy Swindell. He's going to come up here to 7. Score sheet out of the way. He's going to come up here. See how that shows an E7? I know he's the first one. That's going to be a, let's go into charts. Retirement, mechanical retirement for brakes. Let's put DNF, brakes. I'm going to select that real quick. And we're going to go ahead and put that on my sheet down here at 36. There's 36 drivers, so he'll be the first one out. Paste that there, and Swindell is, boy, I got windows all over the place. Race car number 1. All right. I don't know why I closed that out. I'm an idiot. No, I get scattered when I'm recording, but I like doing it. So it's kind of like a love-hate relationship. I concentrate better on rules when I'm not doing this, but I also like doing it. So I like giving myself a hard time. Tom Pistone is the next one up. He is going to be a 9, goes up to a 10. We roll a 10. Holy crap. If that is equal, he is affected by a minor problem and is lapped. We rolled a 10. Boy, we're getting it right now, ain't we? We're going to select the outcome. We're going to put a lapped, and that is a red lapped. Pretty sure I put a red lapped down on that, indicating drivers delayed considerably as a result of mechanical trouble and a visit behind the grove. Okay, yes, so he gets a red lapped. That is Tom Pistone. To Pistone. Red lapped. That affects things more at the end when we come back in, and he's not going to be available for some challenges then. Mike Eddy, he is an 11, goes up to a 12. So the only box cars is going to be the only thing that's going to keep him from continuing on. 10. Wow, we're getting high rolls right now, ain't we? But fortunately for him, that is a pass. Bill Venturini. Venturini, he is a 9, goes up to a 10. He rolls a 5. That's an easy pass. And we have only 2 guys really got affected on that one. So Richie Evans is still going to be my race leader. That's going to be a 0.5 added to him. Go ahead and do that off screen. He's at 1.5 right now. So we're going to come to our second challenge. We don't add anything to anybody this time because we're now no longer on the poll. So we're going to be checking the challenge. The challenge is going to be coming from 21, Mike Eddy. Mike Eddy is going to be a 9, challenging Richie Evans's. Find Richie Evans again. I keep losing him. There we go. He is a 9 also. 9 against a 9 is a 0. A 0. The challenge is going to be a 7 to 12, I believe. Yes, 7 to 12. And we roll a 7. Wow. That is going to be a challenge pass. So Eddy is going to be my new race leader. And that's going to be 1 for him. That's our second race leader. Paste that in there. 1 right here. And we're going to go to green now. This represents green racing, green flag racing, an extended period of green flag racing. We're going to randomly select 1 driver and the 4 adjacent drivers, and we are going to challenge the race leader 1 by 1. 41 is the roll. We're going to be looking at Greg Sachs. Brett Bodine. Shorty Henshaw. Next one down here is going to actually be up here, Mark Martin. And Rich Vogler. And of course, my sausage fingers hit extra keys. So we're going to be challenging the race leader. And the race leader is Mike Eddy. And Mike Eddy is a 9. Greg Sachs is an 8, so that's going to be a -1. He is going to need a 8 to 12. We're going to roll a 3. That's going to be a failed. So Mike Eddy will remain my race leader and get 2 green lap points. So we're going to put 3 on him now. So he's going to be facing Brett Bodine. Bodine. I know better than that, too. Mike Eddy, he is a 9, correct? I lost track of that already, too. Yes, 9. Brett Bodine, he is a 7. That's going to be a -2. -2 is going to be a 9 to 12, I believe it is. Yep, 9 to 12. He rolls a 11. Wow, talk about the surprise of the race so far. That's going to be a pass. Brett Bodine will become my new race leader. He's going to have 2 points, be our third race leader. And he's going to be facing Shorty Henshaw. Probably will not take much to place him out. He is a 7 against Shorty Henshaw. Shorty Henshaw is a 7 also. That's going to be a 0 challenge. I don't expect these guys to stay in there, but you never know rolling the dice exactly what's going to happen. 7 to 12 is the range for him to take over. He's going to roll a 10. Another race change. That's going to be another pass. That's going to be Shorty Henshaw becoming my new race leader. And he's going to get 2. Now had four different race leaders. One, two, three, four race leaders, four changes. Mark Martin against Henshaw's 7. Mark Martin is an 8. That's going to be a +1. And +1 is a 6 to 12. Mark Martin has a decent chance of becoming a race leader. 11, he does, rolling high again. Oh boy, I'm messing up. 11. That is passed. Mark Martin becomes my new race leader. He'll be a little bit harder to bump off the lead there. He gets 2 points for being the current race leader. And Rich Vogler is going to be trying to take him out. Martin is an 8. Vogler is a 7. It's going to be a -1. That is going to be an 8 to 12 range. And we have a roll of 5. No chance. We have failed. Mark Martin will remain the race leader. Gets an extra. Oh boy, I can't believe I just did that. Gets an extra 2 points added on. He is now the most laps led with 4. Not really 4 laps per se, but 4 points. Now we're going to go into the green flag pit stops. See how well the pits do. And this is going to represent the activity of pit stops as and the race strategy associated with pit stops. Pit crew challenge is made using the driver's pit crew rating and checked against the race leader's own pit crew rating. Their pit crew, we're going to roll the red and white dice and randomly select 5 drivers to challenge the race leader as we normally do. Rolling 5-6 is going to be Rex White. Next one off of him is Shorty Henshaw. All right, next one off of him, Rex White. We go to Ned Jarrett. And next one off of him is Ken Schrader. And the last one is Mark Martin. He cannot challenge himself, so we're going to roll for another random guy. 32 is going to be Lat Fistone, cannot challenge. I don't know if they're allowed to. I don't think they're going to be able to challenge because they are um, lapped. Yes, they're not. If challenge fails, lap drivers get a second. Um, Drivers with a yellow or red lap mark are not eligible for any challenge and are replaced if selected during the sum phase. If such driver is further selected for mechanical trouble, they are automatically retired. So we're going to be doing just a random draw for him. 32 didn't wind up, so we're going to go ahead and roll one more, 1-4. That's going to be Gary Saint Amand. I probably butchered that pronunciation. So we're going to be using the pit crew ratings, challenging Mark Martin's pit crew. If I remember right, Mark Martin has a decent, no, not a decent pit spread, not really at all. He is a 7. He's going to have to really fight to stay on this one. So Rex White is going to be the first. He is a 7 also, so that's going to be a 0. And as we remember earlier, 0 is a 7 to 12. We're going to roll a 7. Daggone. Look at this. Rex White's pit crew gets him pumped out of there earlier, and we have another race leader. Rex White gets a .5. I'm going to do this offline so I don't keep trolling that back and forth. Rex White is now our new race leader at 7. We're checking the pit crew, which is the blue rating. Rex White is a 7 against Shorty Henshaw, who is a 6. That's going to be a -1. Lots of changes going on here. 8 to 12 is the target for this one. Dice roll of 5 is a no-go. That's going to be a failure. So Rex White will maintain the lead and get another .5 added to him down here. That's a 1. We're going to go to Ned Jarrett. Ned Jarrett is a 10. 10 against a 7 is a 3. He's got a good pick crew, so he's good chance he's going to take this one over. 4 to 12 is his target. We've got a really good chance of taking the race lead right here. And he rolls a 7 and will. That failed. I don't know why I put getting all excited. That failed. This passed. So we're going to have Ned Jarrett take over as the leader. Coming out of the pits at one point during the race. Jarrett's crew and strategy gets him a position. That's going to be a .5 to him. We are now going to go to Ken Schrader, and Jarrett is a 10, which is going to be hard to beat. 7, going to be a -3. -3 is a 10 to 12. He rolls a 9. Wow, talk about close. No, close does not count. That is going to be a failure, and Jarrett remains our race leader, gets another .5, takes him up to a 1. So our laps leader still is Mark Martin, but we have Ned Jarrett in the lead. Gary St. Amant, his crew is going to try to challenge Gary St. Amant against Jarrett's 10. He is an 8. That's a -2. See if his crew can step up to the challenge here, and they need a 9 to 12. Gonna roll a 12. Look at that crap. Holy. We have another unexpected change as Gary St. Amant takes over in the late in the green running of the race. Get a .5. New race leader, and we're going to be looking at the penalty phase as guys come in and out of the pits during the race. See if anybody catches a black flag here. All right, so at the conclusion of the green flag pit stops, roll the red and white dice to determine a selected driver for adjacent drivers. Yes, I get excited. And there is, as you can see, a lot of, I'm not going to say tension, but I guess it is. You don't know what to expect. And I like it because you never quite know how it's going to pan out here. 6-3 is going to be 6-3 is going to be Jimmy Spencer. We checking Jimmy Spencer for a penalty, and the 4 adjacent to him, starting at the 12 o'clock, will be AJ Foyt. Um, Jimmy Spencer. We go over to 13 over here. Benny Parsons. All right, and then we go back down to Jeff Gordon. And the last one's going to be Frank Kimmel. All right, there you have it. So Jimmy Spencer, we're going to be taking everybody and just rolling against their rating. This is against the pit crew rating to see how clean they were. Um, we are looking for the pit crew rating. Yes, the blue ratings. So Jimmy Spencer, he is a 10. We roll a 6. Passed. No adverse effects. AJ Foyt. AJ Foyt is a 10. Pretty damn good crew. Best rating you can get. 8. Passes. No adverse effects for him. Benny Parsons. He is a 7. We roll a 8. Uh-oh. That is going to be if the dice roll is equal to or lower than no violation takes place. If it is higher than the pit crew rating, a violation takes place, and the driver gets a green left marker. So, Benny Parsons gets a left, green left. Jeff Gordon. Jeff Gordon is a 6. Wow, not a good crew in this season, or at least this made up season. He gets a 7. He too is going to get a left. Nice. Not nice, but left, green left. And then we go to Frank Kimmel. Frank Kimmel is a 7. And we roll a 6. He passes by the skin of his teeth. And that's going to be a pass. And Gary St. Amant is still our race leader, as that has no challenge on the leadership. He gets another 0.5. Takes him up to 1. I shall return, guys. All right, we got done with our penalties coming out of the green flag pits. And now we got another challenge going to be against Gary St. Amant. We're going to roll for a challenger 36 is going to be Steve Kinzer. All right. Kinzer is a 7 challenging Gary St. Amant. 8, that's going to be a -1. That's going to be an 8 to 12. We roll a 9. We have another race leader. Wow, that's going to be passed. Steve Kinzer taking over. Challenges. Late in the race challenge. And I think I forgot to do one thing too. I forgot to do the caution speed. The pole speed. My pole sitter was Richie Evans. And the pole speed is Richie Evans's card. Forget where he is now. It's been so long since we used it. Richie Evans, pole speed. 4133 added to 99. It's going to be 103, 133. 103, 133. All right, that's all there is to it. It'll be a slow speed this time. Maybe there's a lot of rain or something going on. Track's not good, something. So Kinzer takes over. We gave him the 1 point. We got another challenge coming up back to back on that. So the challenger this time is going to be 65. That will be Bob Dotter. All right, Dotter against Kinzer. Dotter is a 10. Against Kinzer is a 7. 10 challenge at 7 is a 3. Uh-oh, we could have another race change here. That's going to be 4 to 12. Dice roll is at 5. Barely got it, but he got it. And we have a new race leader in Bob Dotter. Going towards the end of the race, too. This is going to be interesting. I like how they have the end of the race set up. A lot of little possible things that can happen. Not necessarily going to happen. We do got to survive contact now. And any contact that occurred during the race and pit crew stops under cautions. So, what we have here is a failure to communicate. No. This event represents possibility of a wreck occurring. Lucky Dog can also apply the sub-event which occurs with contact. It allows the highest rated lapped driver to unlap himself. So, and if there's ties, then they all can unlap. So we're going to go through, check the contact, and then the highest rated lap driver is going to check to see if he can. He's going to actually come back up onto the lead wrap. Being as this is not an old one, we can do the Lucky Dog. All right, so we're going to be doing contact. So, contact, we randomly determine a driver using the red and white dice, 46, and of course the guys around him. That's going to be Mark Martin. Mark Martin's been getting involved in a lot of stuff this game. Mark Martin's going to be checking. Then we're going to be doing all the Jason drivers. So that's going to be Greg Sachs. Greg Sachs has been involved in a lot too. Of course, they're going to be if one guy's doing it, they all are in that area because they usually go by the same routine of getting around who's involved in randomly. So Sachs. Then we got Rex White, another one. Then we're going to go Richie Evans. Pole sitter. Pole sitter, correct? Yes. And Steve Kinzer, who just gave up the lead not long ago. Try and drive maybe a little wildly, trying to get back into it. Maybe that's why we're checking for contact. All these guys have been challenging. Maybe a group towards the lead been challenging here. So we're going to be going against their ratings, just straight roll against their yellow rating, their contact rating. Martin is a 7. And he's, oh boy. And he rolls a 6. He is safe. Actually, down here, we got a past. I forgot to put that in there. And a roll 5. Or 6, rather. Still doesn't matter. Still passed. Greg Sachs. He is a 11. Very rarely a wreck. 3. Passed. Rex White is an 8. 6 is the roll. He's going to pass. Richie Evans. Evans is an 11. He rolls a 5. He passed. And Steve Kinzer. Well, not the roll yet. Got to look him up. He is an 11. I'll let that roll stand regardless. 5. He passed. Race outcome says that Dotter is still our race leader. That would not have changed. There is no challenge for leadership there. It's just seeing who's surviving the race. Dotter gets a .5 added to his 1, so it goes to 1.5. We're now checking for pits under caution. Actually, before we do that, highest rated green lapped. Benny Parsons, Jeff Gordon. Parsons is going to come back on the lead lap. All right, that's the lucky dog. Pit crew, pit stops under caution. Randomly select a driver, 55, I want to say 10, but once again in that group right here, it seems to be just getting a lot of it. So we got Ken Schrader, Rex White, belay that. See us starting to do it again. Clear, clear. Race leader, and we're actually challenging for the lead on this one. We are comparing to the race leader. So it's the race leader and adjacent cars plus 1 random. I almost screwed the pooch on that one. Race leader is Dotter. So Ned Jarrett, next one is 15. We got to go to the other side. Dick Trickle. Bob Dotter, AJ Foyt. Oh, come on, Craig. Seriously? I just can't type at all. I got sausage fingers big time. And I never could get typing down. I don't know. I don't have that skill, dexterity, whatever it is. Ken Schrader is the next one. And then finally, we got a random guy. 54. Dave Dayton. All right. So let's see. We start out with Jarrett against Dotter. And we're comparing pit crews, which are blue. Dotter's a 6. Jarrett challenges with a 10. That's going to be a 4. Good chance he's going to come out of this with the win. 3-12. 6. That's going to be passed. He will become the new. Doesn't get credit for the lap lead yet. Everybody's just going to have to challenge him now. So Jarrett is the one going to be getting challenged now. So Jarrett is a 10. Dick Trickle's going to challenge him. Trickle has a 9. It's going to be a -1. -1 is an 8-12. Dice roll is a 6. It's going to be a failed challenge. And that's going to be AJ Feet. AJ Fight. God, we're having trouble today. Challenging the 10. He is a 10 also. That's going to be a 0. It's going to be a 7-12 range. We're on 11. That's going to be a change. Voight is going to take over and be the challenger now. Voight is a 10, being challenged by Schrader. Schrader is a 7. It's going to be a -3. Snowball's chance, but there's still a chance. 7 to -3 is going to be a 10-12. And he rolls a 9. Look how close that one came. He had a good outing in the pits, but just not quite good enough. And then Dave Dayton challenging the 10. Dayton is a Dave Dayton is a 7, challenging a 10. That's another -3 challenge. That's not going to really be good chances, but you got to roll them. I've seen them before. 8. No. Failed. So the new race leader then is going to be AJ Foyt. Coming out of the pits, 0.5 for Foyt. First time leading. Boy, we have a lot of lead changes and a lot of different lead drivers this time. This race, we have 3, 6, 9, 10, 11 different race leaders so far and counting. So we're going to have a challenge on AJ Foyt coming from 63. Again, that's over here. Jimmy Spencer. Oh boy, here we go again. I don't know what I clicked on, but I obviously clicked on something I shouldn't have. Jimmy Spencer. Bad enough I got it typed, and I got to type it twice. Against AJ Foyt. AJ Foyt is a 9. Jimmy Spencer is a 9. It's going to be a 0 challenge. Another good challenge attempt here. It's going to be a 7 to 12 target range. He's going to roll a 6 and comes up just short. Just short. Another fail that's going to keep AJ Foyt in the driver's seat, so to speak. Goes to +1. He's a 1.5 now. Oh, come on, Greg. Seriously, 1.5. AJ Foyt. Now we got to check for mechanical. And up here, you see that's got a question mark on it. So we're going to put a range from the last highlight table right here. We got a 7 to 12. We're going to roll the dice to see if that comes into play. And we get a 9. Yes, it does. That's going to be against the race leader. All right, so the mechanical, if initiated, can only affect the race leader. So we're going to be looking at AJ Foyt. He's going to be checking his mechanical, which is a 8. He rolls a 8. Uh-oh, that could be a lap, I think. Yes. Gonna roll a actual roll over here. Red is a 3. Late race trouble. Tires. Tire trouble. Maybe his tires are going bald. Maybe he's got one going down. Didn't cut one. So gonna put a lap on him. And every time the race leader is affected negatively by an event and is either forced to retire or becomes lapped, check the race rating of all the adjacent drivers. The driver with the highest rating using priority will face the next challenge. AJ Foyt, we're looking at Bob Dotter. That's going to be it right there. Bob Dotter is going to be the new race leader. He already was a race leader once. Control C. Control V. Dotter's back in the chain gang here. Dotter gets a 1, no, 0.5. That goes up to 2 for him. And we've got a late race challenge right here. That's going to be against Bob Dotter. Dotter is a 10. Going to be challenged by highest rated rating out of selected and adjacent drivers. Challenging during closing laps. Challenger is the highest race rated out of selected and adjacent drivers. We still got to do 1-1. So we're going to go 1-1 down here. Ruggiero with a 7. Venturini gets, now he's an 8. Then we go to Eddie. Eddie takes over as a 9. Katona, 9. So it's still Eddie. And then we're going to go check over here. 10. Herb Thomas is going to come in and challenge on the 10. I think I got that wrong before. Every time you read the rules, you see something else that's just a little bit different. So Thomas is a 10. He's going after Daughter. It was a 10. That's going to be a 0. 7 to 12 differential target. Rolls a 7 by the skin of his teeth. Herb Thomas is going to take over. Control C. Daughter momentarily took over as Voigt had some tire trouble. Thomas immediately takes over after that, adds one more to his rate. Thomas is not led a lap yet, so he will actually be our 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12th race leader. Holy crap, they're just back and forth in this one. Now we're going to be rolling for contact, 7 to 12. We're going to have a contact chance in the latter stages. How aggressive is everybody? I almost expect to roll in this range. All the lap changes we've had, this has got to be the leader changes. This is going to be a really tight race. 9, there you have it. We're going to have to check for contact. Contact in the late race. I think this is against the driver. Can only affect the race leader and adjacent cars and one randomly selected driver chosen out of the red and white random result. Okay, so we are checking the race leader and adjacent +1. So we are checking Herb Thomas. Boy, this is going to be interesting. Very interesting. Herb Thomas, Jeff Gordon, but he's lapped. But he can try to initiate. He's still in the contact. I don't know whether we. Hmm, I can't see. Highest rated driver adjacent to the lap driver. So let's go with that. So Herb Thomas, Jeff Gordon. So we're going to be checking 9, 8. It's going to be Jimmy Spencer so far. And then who's on the opposite side? Jimmy Spencer, 8. So it's going to be Jimmy Spencer checking this. Jimmy Spencer's been getting checked a lot. All right, Jimmy Spencer, Herb Thomas, Jimmy Spencer. We're going to go over here, check Reggie Ruggiero. All right, Herb Thomas. We're going to go back up here and check Ned Jarrett. He's not. And Herb Thomas, Shorty Henshaw. And one random, 32. He's left. 24. Rich Bickle. All right, we're checking all these guys to see against their yellow crash rating. So we're going to start off with Herb Thomas. He is an 11. And we actually got to look at there's. I think there's 0 for contact. Yeah, I forgot to look up the mechanical when I did AJ Foyt's, and he would have passed too. Too late to change that now. Herb Thomas is an 11. He rolls a 3. He avoids contact. Jimmy Spencer, he is a 9. He rolls a 2, avoids contact. Reggie Ruggiero, he is a 10. A lot of good drivers here, so chances of contact are probably negligible. 9. Ooh, look how close that came. But that's a pass. Ned Jarrett, he is a 10. At a 7, he passed. Shorty Henshaw, he is a 7. 7, that's a fail. They get a very light, so they get a 7. They get a regular green lapped. So Shorty Henshaw gets a lapped. Green lapped. All right. Rich Bickle. I lost Rich Bickle. Yes, we did. There he is. He is an 11. And he, oh, holy crap. He rolled an 11. He is going to be lapped also. Wow. Bickle gets a lapped. Green lapped. Both of them are equal. They were not above, so they were both equal. If they got above, they would have gotten a yellow lapped. And receive, but listed will be listed as DNF. Okay, and so the lead, we're not challenging here. We're just checking to make sure everybody's still alive. So Herb Thomas is still with the race, so he will be the leader still, putting on a 0.5, takes him to a 1.5 current leader. Pit crew, we definitely have to do this under caution now. It's adjacent drivers to the race leader on the lead lap, and on lead lap, that's the key there, and one randomly selected driver. All right, so adjacent to the race leader. Race leader is Herb Thomas. And they're all going to be challenging his pit crew. So, adjacent to Herb Thomas. He is lapped. So we're going to be going for the highest driver adjacent to the lap driver. That's actually, do we want to do highest race rated driver? Yes, race rated. 9. It's going to be Jimmy Spencer. I believe we've been down this road before. Tony Stewart, Jimmy Spencer, or a 2. It's Venturini, so it's going to be Jimmy Spencer. Next is Reggie Ruggiero. All right, and then next after that is Ned Jarrett. And Shorty Henshaw is left, so it's going to be the highest rated one next to him. That's going to be either Tony Stewart's 8, Greg Sachs is 8. It's Tony Stewart right now, and then Rex White. Rex White's 10. And then one random. 43. Junior Johnson. Really cool race. We have got a lot of lead changes. Jimmy Spencer, all of these guys are going to be facing the pit crew of Herb Thomas with his 8. Jimmy Spencer is a 10, so there's going to be a 2. That's going to be a hard one to survive. He's got a harsh challenge coming here. 5 to 12 chance for Jimmy Spencer to take over, and he rolls a 6 and does. He will be taking the challenges from now on. That's passed. Only one guy gets credit for the .5 though. Reggie Ruggiero against Jimmy Spencer then. 10. Ruggiero is a 8 -2. I believe that's an 8 to 12. 9 to 12. He rolls a 5. Fails. All right, we go to Ned Jarrett against Spencer's 10. Ned Jarrett is a 10. That's going to be a 0 challenge, another difficult challenge for him to survive. That's going to be a 7 to 12. He rolls a 8, and Ned Jarrett is going to take over now. Ned Jarrett with his 10 is going to be facing a challenge from Rex White. He has a 7. That's a -3. Not that difficult a challenge, but we've seen dumber things. That's going to be a 10 to 12 range. Now we roll a 6. He does not get it. So it's still going to be Ned Jarrett against Junior Johnson. Ned Jarrett is a 10. Junior Johnson is a Junior Johnson 8 -2. That's going to be a 9 to 12. He rolls a 3. No go there. So we have a new race leader in Ned Jarrett. Oh, that's a failed. Ned Jarrett going to be taken over. Gets to .5. He already led the race once. So he adds that on. Now we got a challenge against Ned Jarrett coming from challenges on the last lap, or closing laps, or highest rated out of selected and adjacent drivers. So we're going to be rolling a randomly selected. And then with the highest rate, 4 or 5. I like the way they do that. Just got to remember it. That's all. He is a 9, 8, 8, 7, 7. So it is going to be Richie Evans challenging. Gives everybody a chance at the end here to take over. Richie Evans, he is a 9, challenging Ned Jarrett, who is a 10. That's a -1. I believe that's an 8 to 12. Yep, 8 to 12. He rolls a 8. Oh boy, we have another lead change. Richie Evans taking over in the waning moments of the race. This has been a really back and forth one. Evans, he was the original race leader too. He's right back in it now. Has 2.5 pit crew. We avoid that because we already had this one, so we don't have to worry about that. When we now go to green, green in the waning moments is 8 to 12. And 8 to 12, we roll a 7. So we don't have to roll for that one. So we're going to have final challenge here. Final challenge represents the action taking place on the final lap. A challenge is made to the race leader by the adjacent driver with the highest race rating that's not lapped. So we still have Richie Evans as our race leader. Oh boy. This is why I like this game. There is a lot of tension to it, even though it's a fast play. Richie Evans right here. He is a 9. Highest rated adjacent to him. Mark Martin's an 8. Ken Schrader's an 8. Still Mark Martin. It's going to be Mark Martin charging at the flag. How about this? Mark Martin. He is a 8 challenging a 9. That's going to be a -1. -1 is going to be an 8 to 12. He needs an 8 to 12 to win the race. It's going down to the wire. What's it going to be? A 3 is not going to get it done. So Richie Evans is going to hold off the challenge from Mark Martin to win the race and add a .5 onto his total. That gives him 3. So, that being said, we got to go through the steps here, and I've printed these out now so I don't have to keep looking back and forth and losing myself because this is where I screwed up last time. Race winner is Richie Evans right here, 45. I'm going to go ahead and place race leader on there, and we're going to go ahead and send him to the deck. 61 is your new and winning racer, Richie Evans. Next, driver who lost the last challenge. That was Mark Martin. Turn to deck, 6, second place. Next, any driver eligible to contest the last challenge but not selected. That was Schrader, and ranked in order of race rating with less broken by priority rules. So Schrader, Miller, and Steele. So it's going to be Schrader first, 25A, and I put that A in there myself. I know he is 25, but I did that for identification purposes in my Excel program. So he goes to return to deck. Butch Miller, 52, comes in fourth, return to deck. Tim Steele, 85. Return to deck. Next, drivers adjacent to the race winner, not lapped and ranked in order of race rating with ties broken by priority rules. So they already are in because they're all eligible for the charge. This would have come into play, say, if Mark Martin would have done it. He would have been, Sachs would have then been involved in the decision making. So that's not happened there. Drivers in the same groove as the race winner going clockwise. And I'm going to get rid of that 6 o'clock because that threw me off last time. So we're in the same groove as the race winner. That's this groove right here, going clockwise, going for the race ratings. We have a 9, but he's lapped 9 there. It's going to be 9s. Dave Drayton, 87, is next. Down here, we have Danny Schatz, 15, is next. We're going to go to 8. starting right here, going clockwise again. That's Frank Kimmel, 46. Tony Stewart, 20. Comes in ninth. We're doing eights. Rich Bickle, but he is lapped. Go to sevens. Brett Bodine, 12. Came in 10th. Dick Hutcherson, 29. Came in 11th. All right, now we check middle. Top comes after middle, and then we go to the other one. So we're going to go to nines, tens. Mike Stefanik, 16. Then we're going to Junior Johnson, 27. And we're going to Rusty Wallace, 2. He came in 14th. Now, we check the outside one. Tens. So we're going to have Rex White, Ned Jarrett, are on tens. Bob Dotter, Herb Thomas, and we start back over on the nines. Jimmy Spencer, 23. Mike Eddy, 88. Benny Parsons, 72. Iggy Katona, 30. Pancho Carter, 8. He did not get called once on this one, I don't think. Then we go down to the eights. Greg Sachs, number 5. Bill Venturini, 25. Gary St. Amant, 7. Now we go down to the sevens. Rich Vogler, 55. Reggie Ruggiero, 44. Dick Trickle, 99. Steve Kinzer, 11. And now we go down to the left, guys. So any drivers not lap left on the board, ranked in race order. Okay, single green lap drivers on same groove as race winner, ranked in order of race winning, or in race rating. So same groove as race leader. So that's going to be this guy, Rich Bickle, 45. and then and then green single green left drivers on different group from race winner, ranked in order of race rating. So we're going to go ahead and AJ Foyt, 14 rather. Um, then we have Jeff Gordon, 24, not 7. And then we have Shorty Henshaw, And last but not least, Tom Pistone, 59. And then the did not finishes were Sammy Swindell with breaks. And there you have it. There's the race. I'm going to go ahead and finish off with we go down and check out driver having led the most laps. That's going to be Mark Martin. Card number. Oh boy, I forgot to grab his number. It's all right. No problem. Mark Martin is 6. We had how many lead changes? We had 12 lead changes. No. Maybe even more than that. 12 drivers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 race changes among 12 drivers. All right, cautions. Actual number of cautions in this race were 6. Get an 8. Actually, you roll these dice. 9. It's going to be 7 cautions in our race. For laps, we multiply that 7 times lap factor 6. And that's going to be 6.17 equals this times this. We'll just go ahead and give that a little boom right there. 43 caution laps. Yep. Oh boy, undo that. So 95.783 was our winner's speed, average speed, because so many cautions in this race. All right, so points wise, we get 3 points for the race winner. Race winner. 3 points for the race winner. Um, Anybody at letter lap gets Richie Evans is going to get some. That's going to be 4. Mike Eddy gets 1. Brett Bodine gets 1. I should have done these as I was doing them. Oh, you can't because you don't know where they're actually standing at. Shorty Henshaw, Mark Martin, Rex White, Ned Jarrett. I lost Ned Jarrett. There he is. Already selected. Gary Salmont, 1. Steve Kinser gets 1. Yeah, there we go. Down here. Lots of them. Bob Dotter gets 1. A lot of leaders. AJ Foyt, easy one to pick up. And Herb Thomas. Drivers with the most laps led gets 1 point. That is Mark Martin. He's going to get 2. And that is it. That is the race right there. So our pole speed was 103.133. Must have had slow weather, slow track. Winter speed averaged 95.783. Mark Martin led the most laps with 4. And your race winner is Richie Evans, with Mark Martin coming in second, Ken Schrader coming in third, and Butch Miller coming in fourth. I want to thank everybody for joining me. This is Fast Action Racing by Downey Games, and I kind of enjoy it. Like I said, a lot of attention to it, um, and a lot to it. I thought it was pretty good, and I figured I'd get a little publicity out there for it. Thanks everybody for joining me. We will see you all next time. Have a great night.